Hi everyone, my name is Allie, and let's get started on our yoga mats. Thanks for joining this morning. You're going to start in one of two positions, whatever's more comfortable for you, either child's pose. If you have any knee issues, then this could be a little uncomfortable. So this is just option one, hips on your heels, arms forward. And if that doesn't feel great, you can lay on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana with the bottoms of your feet together and your knees out wide, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. You're just going to take a few moments to connect to our breath. So first, just observe your breath, your regular everyday breathing. It's called tidal breathing, like the ocean tide. And then start to deepen your breath, making your inhales and exhales longer than they would normally be. Take two more breaths. Reach your arms overhead, interlace your fingers if that feels good. Just take a big stretch, good morning stretch. If you're in child's pose, just stay right where you are. We're gonna pull our knees in and make our way to a tabletop position. You can roll on your side or rock and roll across your spine. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Drop your belly down, look forward, cow pose. Cat pose, arch your spine, look towards your knees. Just warming up our spines. Cow pose, drop your belly down, look forward. Breathe in. Cat pose, arch your spine, look towards your knees. Really press into the floor, pull your belly up, and then move through a few more rounds of cat and cow at your own pace. Especially if you just woke up, there might be some areas of tightness and tension, and just notice how your body's feeling without judgment. You're on your yoga mat doing something healthy for your body, and really that's all that we can do. And sometimes when we come to our mats, we bring criticism in or judgment about how our body's performing, good or bad. And this practice of yoga is really about just being present, just noticing what's happening in your body, noticing what's happening around you. So I'm going to invite in that intention of presence, just being in the moment, seeing what's in front of your face for this 30-minute class. Come back to a flat back. Tuck your toes under downward facing dog. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. If downward facing dog is ever too much for you, you can drop your knees back to the floor and take tabletop. That's a modification. And in this downward facing dog, just pedal out your feet, bending your knees. Now we're lengthening our spine, stretching through the muscles in the back, our hamstrings. And slowly walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Separate your feet. Take a forward fold, grabbing onto opposite elbows, let your head hang. You can bring a deep bend in your knees if that feels good. Release your hands down to the floor, walk your feet together, bring your big toes to touch. Take a halfway lift, create a flat back, pull your belly in, fold forward, exhale, and it can just be a gentle fold. Mountain pose, reach all the way up to the ceiling, another big stretch. Bring your hands to your heart center, close your eyes. Take 3 breaths together. Sweep your arms up, mountain pose. Open your eyes, look straight ahead. Fold forward. Take a halfway lift, create a flat back. Plant your hands on the floor, step your right foot back, low lunge. Stay here, lengthen your spine. You can always drop down on your back knee. Stay for one more exhale. Awesome, breathe in. Downward facing dog, tuck your right toes under, send your left foot to meet your right. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. We're gonna shift forward to a high plank. Option to drop down onto your knees. Take a deep breath in. Lower all the way onto your belly. Elbows squeeze in towards your ribs. Lift halfway up, Cobra Pose, squeezing your shoulders back. Downward facing dog, you can move through tabletop or send your hips right back. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Lift your right leg up and step your right foot between your hands. It might not land all the way at the top of your mat. We're going back to that low lunge. Drop onto your back knee. Come onto your fingertips. Take a deep breath in. Forward fold. Step your left foot to meet your right. Take a halfway lift. Forward fold. Mountain pose. Reach all the way up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Plant your hands down, step your left foot back this time. Again, low lunge, moving through the other side. Option to drop your back knee down, coming onto your fingertips. Lengthen your spine, pull your chest forward. Downward facing dog, step your right foot back to meet your left. Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. Shift forward to high plank. Option always to drop down on your knees. Lower all the way down to low plank. Try to use your core as you lower, just pulling your belly to your spine. Cobra Pose. Press into the floor. Slide your shoulders back. If it feels good, you can move all the way to upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your left heel up. Shift forward, knee to nose, and then press your left foot between your hands again, coming into that low lunge. Step your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Awesome, forward fold. Mountain pose, reach up. Fold forward. Take another halfway lift. This time, plant your hands down. Step both feet back to a high plank. Option to drop down onto your knees. Lower all the way down. Press into the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Side out. Come high on your tippy toes, just like we did in the beginning of class. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Take another halfway lift. This neutralizes your spine, creates length in the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Plant your hands down. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Inhale. Option to drop down on your back knee. Reach your left hand up to the ceiling, gentle twist. Option to look up towards your top thumb. If you have a yoga block or a water bottle, you can bring that underneath your right hand. Plant your left hand down, tuck your right toes under, step your right foot to meet your left. Take a halfway lift. Forward fold. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Reach your right hand up, gentle twist. Put your right hand down, tuck your left toes under. Again, step your left foot to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Mountain pose, rise all the way up. Fold forward. Just moving with our breath through that round one more time. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold. Mountain pose. Bring your arms long by your side. We're gonna move through just a few balancing poses. So lift your right knee up to hip height. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Send your right foot back to airplane pose. Now, if this is too much, you can always plant your right toes down on the floor. Slowly lifting your right heel up and back. Look at the floor at one spot. And then bring your right knee back up to hip height. And lower down. Lift your left knee up to hip height. Flex your left foot a lot so you're using your muscles. And then send your left leg back, airplane pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Slowly bring your left knee back up to hip height. And lower down. One more balancing pose, tree pose. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left shin. You can keep your right toes on the floor or bring your foot into your calf or your inner thigh as long as you're not pressing on your knee. Start with your hands at heart center for stability. Gaze towards the ground for more grounding. Gaze up towards the ceiling to challenge your balance a little bit. Release it down. Switch sides, tree pose on the left. And it doesn't matter if you're wobbly or falling out of the pose a lot. That's how our muscles grow and our balance builds. Mountain pose, reach all the way up. Both feet down if they're not already, and fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands down, step back to high plank. Lower your knees down. Lower all the way to the floor. Upward facing dog, lift your chest. Downward facing dog, send your hips back. Walk your feet forward towards your hands and come onto a seat, a comfortable seat. Doesn't really matter how you get there. We're going to move to some poses on the mat, some stretching poses on the mat. So first, come onto your back and take a figure four stretch, crossing your right foot over your left thigh. And this might be a good place to stay. You're working on sending your right knee forward towards the front of your yoga mat. If this is enough and you feel this stretch in your hip, you can stay here. Or you can grab onto your left hamstring and pull your left knee towards your chest. There's so many muscles in our hips, and they take a lot of stress from our body throughout our day, sitting, walking. So we hold hip stretches a little bit longer so that we can really get into those muscles. And come back to that intention of presence. Even if this posture isn't the most comfortable, just experiencing it as it is. We're going to switch sides. So bring your right foot down, left foot crosses over your right foot, figure four. I'll stay here if this is enough, or grab onto your right hamstring. Pull your right knee towards your chest. Release your left foot down. Let your knees fall side to side, giving a little release through your back. Come back up to seated. Extend both legs out long in front of you. Option to bring a bend into your knees and fold forward. Creating some length through your lower back. So rather than like rounding your spine, working on pulling your chest forward. I'm not the most flexible through my hips and my back. So if you can only lean forward a little bit, that's totally fine. Some people can pull their chest all the way to their toes. Not for me. Slowly rise all the way up. Pull your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Extend your right arm out long towards your right shin, and then reach your left hand straight up and over. Working on squeezing your shoulder blades together, pulling your left shoulder open so your chest is working its way up towards the ceiling rather than collapsing towards the floor. Slowly make your way back up, and we're going to switch sides. This is called single leg extension. So extend your left leg out, pull your right foot to the inside of your left shin or inner thigh. Left hand to left shin, reach your right arm straight up and lean over. Getting a good stretch through your side body, your mid back. Come back up. Come into butterfly legs, placing your feet together, knees out wide. Doesn't matter how far your feet are away from your hips. Reach both arms up. Take both arms to your right, grabbing your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and reaching your right hand behind your right hip. And just look towards the right, maybe over your right shoulder. In our everyday lives, our spines move forward. Most of the time we get that like hunched over motion. So creating a straight spine and especially moving our spine to the left and the right in this way is really beneficial for our spine health. And switch sides. Take a deep breath in as you reach up. And twist over to the left. Reach all the way back up. Extend your legs out long. Slowly come all the way onto your back. Pull your feet in. Let your knees fall to the right side. Come back to center and let your knees fall to the left side. Come back to center. Extend both arms long by your side. Let both feet come out long. Shavasana, final rest. Close your eyes. Soften your belly. Let your feet splay out. Allow yourself to just be here in ease. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Roll onto your right side. I invite you to choose just one part of your day, one small part of your day to bring that intention of presence forward. A conversation, a relationship, a meeting. And come up to seated with your eyes closed and your hands at heart center. Any comfortable seated position. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead, honoring ourselves and each other. We bow forward and say namaste. Namaste.